We are on breaking news right now. This is the Edmond Deputy Chief Denton, and we're hearing that there has been some type of house explosion in Edmond. Let's listen in. This is at the Creek Bend neighborhood behind the Walmart at I-35 and 15th Street.
PIO for Edmond Fire Department. Good morning. So we received a 911 call this morning about 6:25 reporting a house that was on fire. We're in the 1400 block Foxview Court here in Fox Lake in Edmond. It's off of 15th Street between Coltrane and Sooner. So we received the 911 call. We responded multiple units over here. Before they arrived, they reported smoke that they were seeing before their arrival. They got here and they did have significant fire involvement to the outside and the inside of this house. They went inside, did an interior attack. They were making sure everybody was out of the house already. They did go in and fight this fire interiorly. We got some lines out to put some water on the outside. As these crews were processing this fire, there was an explosion that occurred. Right now, we don't know if it was the inside of the house or outside of the house, but there was an explosion that occurred. We brought all of our firefighters outside and regrouped, and were able to determine that there was no one injured. We went back immediately to fighting this fire again. No ideas on what did start that, what caused that explosion, or what started the fire. We do have investigators on scene. Of course, they'll be looking at that, and that'll take some time to get that worked out. But happy to report no injuries to civilians and no injuries to any of the firefighters. Pretty scary situation. You know, on top of things like the explosions that they run into like this, obviously the heat conditions they have, and this gear is very, very hot. So it's early in the morning, we have cooler temperatures, humidity's up a little bit, but these are very dangerous, conditions for a firefighter. Not, just trying to do their job and work really hard in these high heat conditions can be, it causes us to take special precautions and rotate them out a little bit more. But again, we're here, we got, about 12 units here. There's upwards of 35 firefighters, personnel on the scene working this. We're here with our Oklahoma City mutual aid partners. We appreciate them coming in. So we're just working this. Fire is out, and right now we're just going to process this fire, turn it over to the investigators before too long, and let them go to work and find out what exactly happened here today.
What did it look like inside when that explosion happened?
Yeah, so firefighters were inside working that fire when that explosion did occur. And typically what they encounter is, high heat conditions, super low visibility, and then you have an explosion that occurred. And again, like we say, we don't know if this explosion occurred inside or outside at this time. The investigators will be working on that. But luckily here, there were no personnel that were injured in this. So.
And y'all don't know what started the fire?
No, not at this time. So we're working on that. They'll determine that, through their investigation.
So were the residents home at the time of the fire?
I don't know. I can't answer that. I can get that information for you and get that back to you. I would probably assume that they were, but I do know that we have no injuries to any civilians, so that's a good thing right now. So, yeah.
It works for me.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, you are listening to Edmond Deputy Chief Denton. They're on the scene live at an Edmond neighborhood after a house fire happened about an hour ago, and then the firefighter telling the reporters on the scene that there was some type of explosion inside the house at 1404 Foxview Court. The good news, no one was hurt. Fire crews still on the scene. The fire is out. A 911 call was made that the house was on fire. Then as crews arrived on the scene fighting the fire on the inside and the outside of the home, there was some type of explosion. The chief said it was a little frightening for the crews there. Everyone is fine. No one has been hurt. An investigation into what started the initial fire is underway. And again, no one is hurt. The initial call on scanner thought that one person might have been injured. But again, the good news here from Edmond, no one has been hurt, but there was some type of fire and house explosion there. 1404 Foxview Court is the address. This is at the Creek Bend neighborhood. If you're familiar with that area, right off 15th Street, west of I-35, there is the Creek Bend neighborhood. It winds back around. This is one of those first cul-de-sacs if you're coming in on the south side of that neighborhood. We'll continue following the breaking news here from Edmond, but we do have one house that has some lot of damage there, and investigators will be there on the scene trying to figure out exactly what happened, but no one was injured in the breaking news of a fire and explosion at an Edmond home this morning. I'm Robin Marsh in the News 9 newsroom. Keep it here. We'll have more updates for you coming up throughout the hour.